Welcome to the Mind Body Manifest podcast. I'm your host, Laura Gilly, certified mindset and manifestation coach, yoga and meditation teacher, and wellness retreat leader. This podcast is your go-to space for all things spirituality, subconscious reprogramming, manifestation, personal development, and entrepreneurship. I'm here to help ambitious women and female leaders like you step into your fullest potential so you can impact the world with your unique gifts and create the life of your wildest dreams. Each week, we'll dive deep into soulful conversations, actionable strategies, tools, and mindset shifts that will help you up-level your reality and create success from the inside out. So if you're ready to elevate your mind, heal within, and manifest unstoppable success, you're in the right place. Let's go. Welcome back to the Mind Body Manifest podcast. I'm your host, Laura. And this week, I have a very special episode for you. This week, I'm going to share with you a bit about my story from having the most epic, natural, pain-free childbirth of my son. I'm going to share with you all the details on how I did this and how you can too, plus a bit about my journey navigating a miscarriage at 12 weeks pregnant and what I'm doing to prepare during pregnancy this time. So if you are a mom, or you're pregnant, or you're just interested in how it's actually possible to have a natural, pain-free childbirth, this episode is for you. I hope that in me sharing a bit about my journey through all of that, it inspires you or gives you some insight or helps you in some way if you are struggling at all through pregnancy. So first of all, if you didn't catch that, I have news to share. I am pregnant with baby number 2, and I am over the moon excited about it. We did a gender reveal little party last night with my family. My brother came over and filmed my husband and son and I cutting into the cupcake and revealing what we're having. So I had a strong intuition, strong feeling that we were going to have a girl, and that's what we got. We are having a baby girl due at the end of September. So that being said, I'm about 15 weeks pregnant now. I've been a little bit hush hush about it on social media and just out to the public because of the miscarriage that I had previously at 12 weeks pregnant, which I'll get into that a little bit later about how I navigated the hardship of that. But for now, I feel like I'm ready to talk about it. And I feel that in sharing a bit more about it, that hopefully it can help you or someone that you know. Miscarriage is such a common thing, and so many people don't talk about it. So I'm going to share some tips on what really helped me through that, and what I'm doing now to prepare for the second child. But let's just start all the way back at the very beginning. Before I gave birth, so during the pregnancy of my son, he's now a year and a half, I knew that I wanted to have a natural childbirth. I knew that I was interested in doing it differently than the typical way of just going to the hospital. I had heard about birth centers, but I didn't know exactly how to create the birth of my dreams until I went down a rabbit hole. And having a big background in the subconscious mind and hypnotherapy, I knew that there was a way using hypnosis to help you have a natural childbirth. Like you can hypnotize yourself to release the pain and the fear of the pain to have a natural childbirth. I think one of my first coaches talked about this years ago. And so it like planted a seed within me that this was something possible, but I didn't look into it until I got pregnant. And so, in my deep dive, I'm following I'm finding people on Instagram, like pain-free birth and natural pain-free birth accounts. And I'm just inundating my brain with watching videos of women having a pain-free childbirth. Like, it's kind of mind-blowing because our society talks so much about how painful and horrible childbirth is. I mean, you see it in the movies. The movies portray childbirth as you're rushed to the hospital and the woman is screaming and yelling at her husband and it's like crazy in there and they are sweating and it's so painful. And if that is or was your experience, that's your experience. I think every person's experience is valid. However, it's not the only way. And you've probably heard your friends, your mom, your people all around you wanting to share their horror stories with childbirth, that it programs your brain to fear childbirth. So it's no wonder that it's painful, that we give away all of our authority to someone else, to the doctors, because we're afraid, because we've been programmed from everything, from society, from movies, from your friends, your family, from the people who really truly mean well. They want to help you. They don't want you to experience what they've experienced. But in doing so, in them sharing their horror stories, it's projecting that fear onto you, and your subconscious just takes that on as truth. So yeah, it's no wonder that we fear childbirth. But what I've learned with hypnosis is that you can reprogram your mind to not fear childbirth. And when you don't fear it, when you truly don't fear it on a subconscious level, your body relaxes. You can allow your body to go into the natural state that it's supposed to. Like, we as women have been giving birth for thousands of years naturally, and your body knows what to do, but our mind tends to get in the way. And when you are afraid, when you're fearful, your body tenses up. And when your body tenses up, it's much harder for the baby to move through the birth canal. As you allow your body and your mind to relax, you completely let go. You completely surrender to your body and allow it to do what it's meant to do. The baby does it for you. The baby moves through the birth canal and comes out. And by relaxing your body, you can release that pain. Mind blowing to me still that this is possible, but it truly, truly is. And so I'm sharing this with you only in hopes to help you see that there are other ways than just having a horrible experience and doing it at the hospital. Now, I think every birth and however it is that you choose or want to give birth and whatever feels safest for you is your choice and your decision. And this is not by any means to say that my way is right and another way is wrong, or my way is better than the way that you did it. That's not what I'm saying. All I want to show you is that you do have choices, you do have options, and just going the traditional route, they're not going to tell you that. You have to do your own research and find, if you're interested in that, if you're interested in finding another way, do your own research. I found Hypno Babies is the course and program that I took. It's classes. It was like weekly classes for a few months. And you're also received hypnosis audios and affirmation tracks to listen to for months. Every day, like every morning and every evening, when your mind is most receptive to receiving and reprogramming, is when you first wake up and right before you fall asleep. This is what I teach in all of my programs is our hypnosis audios, because it's so powerful in changing your reality. So every day for several months, I was listening to these audios in the morning and at night and releasing the fear around childbirth. And then we also showed up to weekly classes where we're learning about childbirth and like the anatomy and positions you can do. I also hired a doula. So the woman who taught the Hypno Babies classes was also a doula. So I hired her because hello, two for one right there. I'm spending weeks with her in class. I got to know her really well. It felt like a perfect relationship. And the doula, she was able to be an advocate for me, and that's really what her main role is to like help you through the waves of childbirth and providing support for you physically and emotionally. And then being kind of the liaison between you and the doctor or the midwives. And in the classes, she also gave us a lot of information about how to speak up for yourself and what your rights are as the mother, and how to really make the most informed decision for you and your baby at any given moment in time. So if X happens, you have these types of choices. And so you really feel like you have the authority to know what's best for you, and you're not just giving away your power to someone else. I believe when we give our power away, we say, you know what's best for me, that complicates things. I don't always believe that that is true. Yes, the doctor has, they're highly trained to avoid complications. And I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor. I'm just saying when you have all of the information and you truly understand what each thing is, you can make informed decisions for you and know what's best for you. And that felt so empowering for me. Um, there's um, a lot of statistics around how, giving birth in a hospital does increase your chances of having some sort of intervention, because that's what they're trained to do, is to look for threats. And so I knew I wanted to give birth in a birth center. The birth center I gave birth in was across the street from the hospital. So for me, it felt like a very safe medium. I didn't want to do a home birth, and I didn't want to birth in the hospital. So the birth center felt very safe. There were multiple midwives who are trained to help you through natural childbirth. And if there were any complications, I could be easily transferred, across the street to the hospital. So all of that felt really good and really safe for me. I also read this book called Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. I highly recommend this book. If you're interested in natural childbirth, it floods your brain with positive birth stories from tons of different women having, pain-free, natural, amazing birth experiences. And the more you can do that, the more you can flood your brain with positive birth experiences, the more you believe that it's possible for you too. And that is what is so important, because we have to reprogram all the fear of childbirth that's just inundated us for years. So I highly recommend that book. I highly recommend the Hypno Babies classes if you're interested in natural childbirth. Now, I understand not everyone has that option. Sometimes you risk out. There are complications, other reasons why you don't even have that option. I understand that. This is simply for the woman who doesn't have the risk out and is interested in doing it the natural way. I gave birth at 37 years old. And that is considered older. That was considered geriatric, if you will. And typically older women tend to have more complications. But I have been working on my mind and my body and my energy for years, really take care of my health. The yoga and meditation that that I've been doing for years, I think has really helped me become super self-aware and very intuitive and connected with my body. And all of that, I think, was like the perfect mix for having, plus the Hypno Babies classes, having an amazing, epic, like no pain, no complication, no tearing, just an amazing natural childbirth in the water. I gave birth in the tub at the birth center. And it came, my child came really fast. I wasn't in labor for, I don't know, just a handful of hours. It was really fast. I labored mostly at home. And then by the time I got to the birth center, he was there within like 2 hours. But my point is that I spent years doing this, and it doesn't have to take years for you. If you just start now, taking care of your mind and your body and listening to hypnosis audios. I've been working on some really powerful ones for my membership, Embodied, for a variety of different things. But one section that is coming is for mamas and manifesting natural pain-free childbirth. So if that interests you, you should join the Embodied membership. It is coming. It is opening soon. It's just taken a little bit longer with being pregnant now for the second time. My first trimester this time was really hard. I think being pregnant with a girl, the hormones of having a girl just rocked me this time. It was way harder for me in pregnancy this time than it was the first time. So thank you all for your patience. If you have been waiting for the Embodied membership to open, it is coming, I promise. But as I digress here, I'm going off topic here. I think that if you are interested in a natural pain-free childbirth, I want you to know that it is possible. It is possible. And I'm going to link the Hypno Babies classes at the bottom of this episode, so you have more resources. I'll also tag the book that I mentioned, so you can look into those as well. Now, all of that being said, after I had my first child, I knew I wanted to have a second child. Always dreamed of having just 2 babies. Always wanted to have 1 boy, 1 girl. But of course, I was going to be stoked whether it was 2 boys or a boy and a girl. But the second I got pregnant with the middle one, I had a miscarriage there. I'm going to just talk about this for a minute. We had told everyone, all our friends, all our family. We had a special puzzle piece made and sent to our parents that said our missing puzzle piece, or what did it say? Something like that. Our puzzle is now complete, meaning like she was the missing piece to our puzzle. Then at 12 and a half weeks pregnant, I had a miscarriage. And it was probably maybe one of the hardest things I've ever been through. I don't wish that upon anyone to have a miscarriage that late. What you see is, for me, it came out naturally. It happened naturally. I'm very grateful. I didn't have to have a procedure or anything like that. But seeing it was just awful and so sad. And I remember when it happened, I looked at the clock and it was 5:50 or AM. I can't remember, but it was 5:55. And if you're into numerology, the number 5 represents change. And it hit me. My angels were telling me that this was a change. I mean, clearly an unwanted change, but it was a weird feeling because I had all of this pain happening, just sobbing on the bathroom floor, while at the same time, I had this like strong, intuitive voice or inner knowing that just said, this isn't the end. This isn't the right time, but it's not the end. And it was almost that same calming, clear voice that I heard when I was just dating my husband. And I think I've told this story before, but we were dating in the beginning, and he broke up with me because he needed to heal from his divorce. He needed some time. And at that time, I had heard that same voice. It was very clear and calm. It was just an inner knowing that said, this isn't the end. And it gave me so much peace both times because I felt okay. I felt I did nothing wrong. It wasn't my fault. This just wasn't the right time, and that it wasn't the end of the story. I knew somehow, sometime when the timing was right, that it would work out. And it did. It did with him, and it did with the baby girl. And so I think that inner knowing just helped me so much. I don't know if it was a channeled message from God, from my spirit guides, but I just felt I knew that something wasn't right. I didn't really have any symptoms that time. Typically in the first trimester, I remember with my son, I felt, I had nausea, I felt tired, a little hungover sometimes. And with the girl that I have now, I had a ton of symptoms. But with the miscarriage, I didn't even know I was pregnant until around, I don't know, like 9 weeks in. I hadn't got my period back fully after the first pregnancy. And so when I missed periods, I didn't think anything of it and I didn't have any symptoms. So I didn't really know that I was pregnant and I just felt great. And I thought at the time, oh, well, maybe I'm just lucky this time. Like I don't have any symptoms. I feel amazing. And I'm sure that happens. I'm sure some women feel totally fine throughout their entire pregnancy. But I'm realizing looking back, that was a bad sign for me, that not having any symptoms, something was off. I still don't know exactly what went wrong, but I don't think I need to know what the problem was. I just know that it wasn't the right time. And another thing that really helped me was I went back and read through this book that I read during my first pregnancy called Spirit Babies. And this book is about connecting with the spirit of your unborn child. And there was a whole section just on miscarriage. And so I went back and read through it, and it gave me so much inner peace. It talked about how sometimes the soul just isn't ready to come down onto earth for whatever reason. Sometimes the body isn't right. Like sometimes there's a complication with the body, or maybe it's not the right body. And there's other reasons. But having just some ideas of, okay, there's a million other reasons why it just wasn't right. It has nothing to do with me. And if you've had a miscarriage, it has nothing to do with you. You didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing you could have done differently. Sometimes it's just not the right time, and that's okay. So that is what helped me a lot, and allowing myself to grieve the loss, because it is a loss. I found out that it was a girl right after that, which made it probably even harder. But now having a girl, I feel like maybe that soul came back, and that's kind of beautiful. So if you're struggling through miscarriage, I want you to know that you're not alone, that this is very common, that yes, it sucks a lot, and it's okay to feel the pain and to grieve and to know that there's a greater reason, a greater purpose for it. So what I'm doing now to prepare for this next pregnancy and my next childbirth is honestly just feeling grateful for it every single day. Having passed the 12, 13-week mark felt so amazing. And so I'm doing what I've always done, flooding myself with positive birth stories, doing the things that I know bring me inner peace. My morning routine, meditation, drinking my matcha latte that I love so much, flooding my brain with positive birth stories and hypnosis tracks to release any other fear that could be lingering in there from the miscarriage. And yeah, I plan on doing it the same way because I had such an amazing experience the first time. I found another birth center here in Denver, and I plan on getting a doula, and I'm envisioning my positive birth story, but letting go of it having to happen in a certain way. I think that that's really important, that you let go of your attachment to it has to happen this way, rather than just focusing on how you want to feel and how you want the general outcome to be. That's what I'm focusing on. So I'm really excited about this upcoming birth happening at the end of September. I will keep you all posted with how it's going. And if you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant and you just want to connect with someone, or you've had a miscarriage and you want to talk about it with someone who gets it, please reach out to me. Send me a DM on Instagram at mind.body.manifest. I would love to connect with you. I would love to talk to you more about your experience or just give you any wisdom that I have. I think it's so important for us to connect. And that's the whole point around this. I hope that today's story hopefully inspired you, motivated you, and helped you in some way, shape, or form. That is it for today. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Mind Body Manifest podcast. I hope today's episode brought you clarity, inspiration, and some powerful takeaways. If you loved what you heard, don't forget to share it with a friend who could use this message. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'd also love for you to rate and review the show. It helps get this message out to more amazing women just like you, and I truly appreciate every single bit of your support. Until next time, keep elevating your mind, healing within, and manifesting your most abundant life.